Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Well, isn't this toolbox absolutely adorable? Y'all wanted the secret to making it, so if you stay tuned, you're going to find out how easy it is to make this wonderful Father's Day toolbox. Okay guys, so today we're going to make this wonderful little toolbox. And if you are not a subscriber to my channel, but you are enjoying the projects that you see me do, guys, come on, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the team. Also hit the notification bell so that whenever I post a new project, you'll be one of the first people to know. So let's get started on making this. So this wonderful little project is perfect for Father's Day, birthdays, whatever. You can just dress it up or dress it down however you want to. It's really fairly simple to make, but there are several steps to it. So what I'm going to do with this video is break it down into steps. And step one is going to be building the body of the box. To make the body, we need to start with a piece of cardstock that measures 12 by 9. And we have 3 pieces of chipboard that measure 3.5 by 7. And we're going to place those down. I've already put tape on this, so I am simply going to place these down, trying to get them straight. And I am going to use about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. I don't think I got that too straight, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit crooked in how I'm positioning these, but they'll work out in the end. Okay, so then we're going to just take our edges and do the normal fold over. And then I'll come back with my scissors and just angle cut this. And then I'll bring in my tape and go ahead and place some tape from here to here. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And then let's take our bone folder and smooth this down and lift up our tape. And then we will fold over. And this is the same step that we followed for the carpenter's box. It's almost identical to that, except it has a lid. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and glue these down off camera, and then I'll be back just to save us some time. Okay guys, so we have the chipboard covered, so we basically got our base, and now we need to do the inside liner piece. And what I'll be lining it with is this, and it's got a glare on it, but I asked Mike what it was, and he said it's called a reflective barrier, and it really is very strong. You can't even tear it. You have to cut it, but it does remind me of that chrome look that you see on so many toolboxes, so I thought it would be perfect for mine. So I have a piece here that measures 9 1/4 by 6 3/4, and I have it already taped, so I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to turn it this way, or maybe I'll turn it this way to see if I can get this stuck down right. I don't want want it to be too crooked. And I'm going to smooth that out. And you can see how it has that nice chromy look to it. There. So we have got the base of our box is done, and now we need to make our sides. So let's move to step 2 and we'll make our sides. To make our side pieces, I'll be working with 2 pieces of chipboard, 3.5 by 3.5, and then 2 pieces of scrap liner here, which is 7.5 by 5, but I'm going to trim it down, so I'm just giving myself a little extra. So the way that I'm doing this, I've already placed tape on it, so I am going to take this, try to find my most even bottom because this is a scrap piece. I'm going to get that placed down, and then I'm going to go ahead and just trim out the excess on this part. And then I'll do this side as well because it'll just make it easier if I trim it now. And then I'll do this side. And then I'll lift up my tape. And then I'm going to take this piece and simply fold it over onto this, and that way my front and my back are covered. And I'll smooth it down, and then I can come back and remove the excess. Alright guys, so we have our 2 side pieces done. Let's go ahead and get them glued and placed into our box part here. And I am so sorry for the glare, but I don't have any way of avoiding that. So I'm just going to kind of move that over to the side and move this one and see if we can lessen it just a little bit. So I have 3 raw edges, and those are the pieces that I want to cover in glue. So all I'm going to do is dip, dip, and dip. Get a nice coverage. Then I'll take this and basically just slide it into place. And it's going to be a gooey, goopy mess for a while, but then it'll dry and it'll be very nice. So I'm just going to scoot that over some, squeeze it, and hold it down. And then I'm going to take my other piece and do the same thing. So I will take my 3 raw edges and dip those, making sure that I have coverage on all of that chipboard that's exposed so it'll grab well. And then I'm going to come over here and place it, and then I will press it down and squeeze it. So I am going to do this just like this, and all I'm doing is squeezing on the sides and pressing down from the top and putting a lot of weight on this. So I am going to give this about 10 minutes to really set up, and then I'll be back. Okay, and while our box is drying, we're going to go ahead and make the lid for this. And we need to start with a piece of cardstock that matches the box body, and it is going to measure 9 by 8.5. And with the 9-inch side going this way, we are going to take our chipboard. We have 3 pieces of chipboard. We have one that measures 3.5 by 7, and we are going to take that and just place it down right in the middle. And then we have 2 pieces that measure 1 1/2 by 7, and we are just going to give that about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. Turn this around. So then I'll just fold over and miter cut and get my edges stuck down. So let me bring in my scissors and just let me cut through. And then I'll bring my glue in and place glue this way, or tape, I'm sorry, this way. And let me peel up this tape and go ahead and get our sides stuck down. Okay, so the outer liner part of our lid is done, but before we can place the inner liner, we need to go ahead and make the handle and put it down. So to make the handle, we need a piece that measures 2.5 by 7.5, and we need to score that at 1, 2 1/4, 6 1/4, and 7.5. And then we're going to go ahead and just fold over those score lines just to have it in place. So then what I did was I took my paper and I folded it into thirds, just like that. And then I measured the inside piece, so you'll need to do this on yours. I measured the width and the length of the longest piece here, and then I cut out a piece of chipboard just so that I could line it with that and have a much sturdier handle. So I am going to take this piece and I'll position it right here in the middle in between my score lines. And then I can take my papers and just fold them onto themselves. So let's do that. So we've got one portion down, and I'll use my bone folder to help me here. And this is just going to give us a nice sturdy lid. So if you want to put something in this box that has weight to it, then the lid will support it and the handle will not come off. And then we'll fold that over and just get this nice and stuck. I'll bring in my paper towel and go over this. And then this is what we have. So we're going to take it and fold it like this, but then fold it out like that. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll take our lid and we're going to put this down, and I am going to use some hot glue to put this down. So I'm just going to put down a little bit. And I am going to eyeball it and try to center it where I want it. So I think that's pretty good right there. And I'll hold it until my glue sets. And then I'm going to turn it and do the same thing on this end. So I'm going to add my hot glue to this piece. And then I'm going to put it down. Let me see if I can get this nice and straight. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that looks pretty good. So you can see how my handle looks. And it does look nice and straight. So now what I'll do is I'll come back in and I am going to add my decorative brads right here. So all I'm going to do is punch 3 holes on each end. And the reason why I didn't put my liner piece down is so that when I put the brads through, I can then cover them, cover the prongs of the brads with my liner piece. And that just gives us a nice clean look to our project. So I'm punching my brads in. just like that. And let me just open these up. Okay, so I have my handle on, and I think it turned out well. So now what I need to do is I need to go ahead and place my decorative latch pieces. And so what I'm going to do here is take this piece, which has the flap on it, and I am going to get it centered on my project just like this. And all I'm going to do is put it down with some hot glue, because it is a non-functioning piece of this project. So it does snap open and closed, but I am not using this. I'm not relying on this as my closure. So I'm trying to get it in the center, just like that. And then I'll press it down, get it nice and stuck. And then what I did was I came back and I added some little brads to the front just to kind of finish it off. But I think I'm going to skip that step here because I really don't think that they're needed. So I'm going to leave that off of this one. Okay guys, so now that we have our latch on, we can go ahead and place the inside liner piece. And my liner piece measures 6 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I am going to see if I can get this placed carefully but straight as possible. And I think that's straight enough. So let me just get this smoothed down. Trying not to smash my lid, that's why I'm holding it up. Or my handle, that's why I'm holding it up like this. So now you can see just how nice that looks. So the last thing that I want to do to the lid part is I want to go ahead and I'm going to pull out some more brads, because I want to go ahead and just finish off the back of this very nicely. So let's see, I've got 4 there. And all I'm going to do is take my punch, and I am just doing this for decorative purposes only. This does not serve any stability or usefulness. It's just decorative. So all I'm doing is punching 2 holes, and I'm eyeballing it. And I am going to insert some brads. And that'll just finish off the back real nice and cute. And these won't show because the back will actually be glued down. Okay, our last one. So you can see how cute that looks on the back. Now what I get to do is we can take this and we can actually bring our box in, and we're going to go ahead and glue this down. So I'm going to glue it from the back, and then I'll come back to the front and I'll place my latch here. All right, so I am going to take my glue and place it along the bottom. And I won't bring the glue all the way up to the top because I want this to open with ease. So then I will take this just like this, and I am going to just set it on, pushing down from the front first, getting it lined up. And then once I think I have it lined up, I'll start pressing from the back to get it stuck down. And then I'm going to open the lid and just press it. And the reason why I didn't bring the glue all the way to the top is because I want this lid to fold back freely. And if I brought the glue all the way up, then it might make it a little difficult for it to fold. So there, we've got a nicely finished back of our box, and I do think that looks great. So now we get to come back and we are going to place this portion of our decorative piece, and it truly is decorative. It serves no purpose except for decoration. So what I'm going to do, just to help me to place it, is I am going to make myself a little indentation there and indentation there. I'm not screwing these in. I'm simply going to use my hot glue, but the indentions really serve as my registration points. So I'll come back, find my marks, and get this down. Now let me bring this. Yep, that's great. Okay, so we are getting very close to being finished with this, but the next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and I am going to add some magnets, because that's how I'm going to close this. You don't have to do it. You can actually just let it rest naturally and be partially closed, but I want to go ahead and close it. So I am going to add some magnets to my base here. So I am going to put, let me just come back and do this. I'm going to put a magnet right there, here at the top, and then I'll come over on the other side and place my glue dot and put my magnet on it. And then I am going to just snap my magnets into place. And then I'll place my glue dots on top of these magnets. And then I just need to get these nice and stuck so I can peel it back without the glue dot coming up. And now I'll just take my lid, bring it down, and I am going to press it down, and I should have my magnets nice and caught, and I do. So that is how I'll be closing this. I'll be using my magnets, and you can see how that closes very nicely. So now what I have here is a strip that I want to run across the top, and it measures 1/2 inch by 7, and then I just cut out a sliver of the metallic paper, and I am going to put some glue on this. And I'll put this down right here close to the top. And I'll smooth that down. And then the final thing that I have here is this little hammer that I cut out, and I colored it just a little bit. So I am going to put some glue on the back of it, position that right here because I think that's cute. And then I have this little Happy Father's Day that I'm going to tuck right under there with some hot glue. So I'll just kind of tuck that right there. And I think that that is just pretty doggone adorable. So let's bring in the other one, and you'll see just how cute these are. And they really are cute and simple to make. So we can open it up and you can see the inside. You get to see this one. Let me move some of my mess so we can just focus on the cuteness and not the messiness of my disc. But I think that these are just absolutely the sweetest little things. So I hope that you guys will give these a try. I hope that you have liked this tutorial. And again, I would love it if you would go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I'm posting other awesome things like this. You'll be able to get in on it from the ground floor. So y'all have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.